So you read the title and are thinking, big shocker, a major corporation is greedy, but boys and girls, Sony took it too far. Here's the situation as it stands. Helldivers 2 has been removed from Steam in 177 regions due to a new requirement to link the game to a PlayStation Network account. So the PC version, which is raking in tons of shekels, now requires an active PSN account to play, affecting countries without PSN access. I mean, only 90 countries are supported by PSN. I didn't even know that. What was a worldwide phenomenon is now only limited to 90 countries. So I mean, Steam is doing the right thing. They're offering refunds to affected customers, regardless of how long they've played, which is it's a step away from their 2-hour policy that they have standard, which is good. This is good for customers, but the game's removal is got to have a crazy impact on Sony, seeing as they're the ones that did this, right? So Helldivers 2, as I'm reading, has sold 8 million copies and made an estimated $350 million. It's a lot of pasta, right? It's a lot of noodles. Okay, so imagine how much money is going to be lost due to refunds and then the loss of future microtransactions. I mean, this is a colossal goof on the suit's parts, all right? I used to be a Sony stan. Okay, you may not have known this, but I played on a PS1 growing up. My very first console was a PS2, and I played the ever-loving Christ out of Spider-Man 2, Downhill Domination, Need for Speed, Tony Hawk American Wasteland, and then I graduated to PS3. And all the major titles from Call of Duty right through PS4. Did I miss out on Xbox classics like Halo and others? Sure. But, those were at my friends' houses. I was a Sony loyalist. And then my eyes were open to the beautiful world of PC gaming. Finally, one platform to rule them all. Because games should be games, not corporate properties in a game of Monopoly. Helldivers 2 was supposed to be the chosen one.
You were the chosen one!
Beloved by children and adults alike around the world. The reviews for this game at launch would have you believe that the cure for cancer just dropped. Only 14% of the 251,000 user reviews in the last month were positive. All of them are overwhelmingly negative. It's insane. And the community was strong, but everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Daddy Sony decided to expand their control just a little bit more. So, when Sony recently made the genius decision to force everybody on Steam, a PC game storefront, to sign into a PSN profile where they can't play Helldivers 2, you could see why the internet was just raising their pitchforks and ready to cause chaos. Now, there was an update, making it temporarily optional, but why even implement a policy like this in the first place? Why not just let, PC players do their thing, and then, PS5 players do their thing, and then Sony profits from all of them? What's the logic here? So I'm reading the fine print on Steam, and it's to protect players from griefing and abuse by banning players that engage in that type of behavior. So how is this different than any other game? Modern Warfare 2 didn't make you link a console account, and they had no problem banning hackers.
Oh, but Reese, Sony's the publisher, and they can do whatever they want.
Okay, but they didn't have to do this. They could have just handled bans through Steam. All right, you have a Steam account. Sony should be able to have access to that, right? If there's anything that they need to handle as the publisher, they should be able to handle it. I don't see why they need to have full control by having some sort of account link to it. But what if someone doesn't have a PS5 account, right? It goes on to say that this new policy allows players who have been banned the right to appeal. I still don't see how you couldn't appeal by way of your Steam account. This is a cross-platform game, which is supposed to be the way of the future. Gamers uniting no matter which Ooga Booga tribe they come from. I get that PlayStation owns this game, but if it is really that big of a deal, we'll keep the two platforms separate and deal with the griefers as needed. No crossplay to protect the precious PS5 player base, not to mention the technical nightmare that is trying to link your account. And that's where I think most, if not all of the existing player base that is able to play the game is running into frustrations. I spent the better part of 3 hours today helping my brother dust off his old PS4, update it, try and get the password for his old PSN account, and then log into that account on his PC through PlayStation's website. Then his game wouldn't even launch without crashing, so we didn't see the option to scan a QR code to link the website PSN profile with the game. Are you following how convoluted this is? So it's bizarre that a PC player can be put in such a chokehold by a platform outside of a PC. This is a horribly received plan. The headache's only getting bigger for some of us, and for a lot of people, it may just be worth it to request a refund on Steam. I mean, all of your hours, all of the major orders and the termids and the everything we've had to fucking annihilate, all of the work we've put in as Helldivers, it might just go vamoose unless you want to buy a PS5. Or oh, you could just make an account. Yeah, but it's the principle, right? No normal PC gamer, especially outside of a region that doesn't support PSN, should have to be jump through all these hoops just to enjoy one of the most groundbreaking games of the decade. But going back to the refund, I mean, if you want to go down that route, your first request might be auto-denied because it's from a bot, but according to sources on Reddit, if you escalate it to a human review, you'll get a refund. Again, even if you played more than 2 hours. So, anyway, eons later, after we had to delete Helldivers 2 because it crashed before we could even link an account, it finally downloaded, reinstalled, and everything seemed to be in order. We didn't have to scan any QR codes, I guess because he was logged in through his browser. But I mean, the principle of having to bend over and spread your cheeks for Sony as a PC player, it just doesn't sit right with his Helldiver. Anyway, I just wanted to share my thoughts on it. That's about it. Peace.